need to hit a good pitch. He's a really good hitter. And he took that fastball in the third and drove it out to right center field. But BY, he grinded through it. Like I said, he more pitches than he needed to, or he should have thrown. But, he kept us in it and gave us a chance.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. You just heard from Orioles manager Craig Albanese there following the 4-1 loss to the Angels today. Orioles don't get the sweep over the Angels, but they do win 2 of 3. Brandon Young was the pitcher that Craig Albanese was talking about, and Brandon Young did get his 3rd loss of the season today. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs given up, 4 strikeouts, and the 2 walks. And as usual, defense lets them down at times. They're never above an error. That's just who these guys are. But honestly, while acknowledging that Brandon Young wasn't great today, he wasn't terrible. And that's with him getting out of a couple of jams. He had the bases loaded early in the game, in the 2nd inning with no outs, able to get out of that. But it's just not much you're going to be able to do when you only get 1 run put up on the board. 4 hits today for the Orioles. This offense is so frustrating to watch. And I feel like anytime I talk about the Orioles, you can kind of just rinse and repeat, and it'll probably be the same complaints all over again. Defense and poor situational hitting, poor offense in general. But we're talking about a team that's got, 9 runs in its last 5 games? Not the best at math, but that's less than 2 runs a game on average right there. You're not beating anybody. Thankfully, you've got one of the worst teams in baseball in town, and you are able to get 2 of 3 from them. But look, as bad as they've been, Ben, they're still only a game out of the last wild card spot. Again, rinse and repeat. We've said that a couple of times this year. And now they head out to Texas and Minnesota and Tampa Bay for 3 of the biggest series of the year coming up. Texas immediately is a huge series right away. And really for the same reasons the Twins are as well, because they're also a game out of the last wild card spot.
Yeah, no, they got an opportunity, but they've had a lot of opportunities. And today, if you're going to make up big ground, if you're going to go on a little bit of a run, a sweep needed to happen.
Yes.
Yes, they won the series. And I said it last time we were on. We've all said it. They just need to win series. Keep stacking series. I don't need that after you took the first 2 against the worst team in baseball, or one of the worst teams in baseball. A team, you didn't have to see Soriano. You were able to do the damage against Detmers. That was the one that was a little worrisome. It's a lefty. All right, they might lose that one. Oh, no, they got that out of the way. So now who do you get thrown at? One of the worst dudes in their rotation. A guy that has shut down one team twice this year, by the way.
And who's that team?
The O's.
Oh.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Of course.
He's got that matchup circled like Grayson does. He's been able to shut them down twice, which is just embarrassing. He's got an ERA above 7, 4 2/3 today, 1 earned run, walked 5 batters.
Crazy.
If you would have told me Ryan Johnson walked 5 batters and wasn't able to get through 5, I would have said the Orioles got a sweep. We're talking them up. They're right in the playoff picture, and they still are, because the AL is so bad. The American League is giving them life. They're just giving them a shot. They're giving us a reason to continue to talk playoffs when we really shouldn't be, with how this team is, how they're constructed, how they're playing. But here they are. And now we're talking about 2 massive series. Last time they were going into a really big series, it was in Boston. I was talking it up. Everybody around baseball was talking it up. The Orioles were playing 7. They won 7 in a row. Boston had won 13 in a row. Boston's won 23 of their last 25. They kept that going. The Orioles, since they've won a few series, they've lost. They're just not consistent. They are consistently bad defensively. They're not showing up. Even this series, when you take 2 of 3, they delivered 3 home runs yesterday. Outside of that, it was not much of anything. Game 1, they were able to score 3 runs and win. Grayson shuts them down. Grayson hasn't been able to shut down many teams all year. And then today, I just can't. I don't want to be negative, but Ryan Johnson shutting this lineup down after walking 5 guys, being there, being in the press box, it's just it was an incredibly tough watch. And they were only down 2 and 3 runs for the majority of that game. It felt like they were down $1 million. They just never felt in it.
Johnson walks 5.
Dude.
And hits a batter. And none of them score.
None
of them score. If you're telling me that Pozo is your best offensive player of the day, I'm just going to assume you lost. I'm just going to assume you lost without looking at the box score. I'm just going to follow a hunch there. I mean, I'll give them this. I will give them credit, small credit. I'll give them credit for not doing, at least yet, what I expected them to do after the deadline, which is just completely implode. Because that's who they've been anytime there's a drastic shakeup, a manager fired, one of the clubhouse favorites traded. We've seen it. They have come out flat every single time. And to their credit, they actually showed up in the first 2 games in the series for the most part. Like you said, game 1, thankfully, you get the pinch hit home run again, get a late run. Get to actually escape that game despite Grayson having one of his best start of the year to this point. Of course, that's what everybody does. But today, golden opportunity to sweep these guys. It's a bullpen game for them. They've got one of the worst arms in the league on the mound. You're going out there with your best pitcher. Brandon Young's been their best pitcher this year.
Yeah.
And first of all, the lineup. And a lot of the lineups are going to start to look like this. I'm accepting that, especially until Basayo comes back. The catcher position is just kind of like a black hole right now. But that said, Gunnar works 3 walks. Still, it's just not there. And actually, I think I said this maybe back when they were playing the Reds, I want to say it was, and Gunnar had a sack fly, and I think I remember just you know what, that's a win considering where Gunnar is now. 3 walks, that's a win, I guess, but not on a day where you only score 1 run. It's clear they can't get anybody in. They're not getting the big hit that they need. This offense, it was supposed to be the reason that they had success this year. It's going to be the reason why this season ultimately will be a failure.
Yeah, and then Gunnar in the 8th inning, they didn't have a ton of life. But if Gunnar scores that run or Gunnar stays,
that was a backbreaker.
You can't. But
that's
it's
a backbreaker.
Those are the things. We talk about defensive mistakes. We talk about base running mistakes. Those are the things that bite you in these types of games. And it's baseball. I'm never going to be overreactionary. I can't overreact to everything that happens because it's baseball. It's a long season. But it feels like in the big moments in these types of games, that's what it is. And it was funny talking in the press box. Just the way that the crowd was today, I was like, this. I was at both games after the deadline coming into today. Both of those games, it didn't really feel like the trade deadline had passed the way it did. Pre-game, maybe a little bit, but once the game started, it was normal. Today felt like one of those days where it's just like dead energy. Mm-hmm. You could hear a pin drop during the majority of that. Because the Orioles didn't give the fans anything to be bought in about. When Ryan Johnson's walking dudes left and right and just getting out of it with weak pop-ups, it was hard to watch today, to be quite honest with you. And again, they still were able to take 2 or 3. They're still just a game back, and they're right in it. And the best possible part is you hold the cards. If you go and take 2 or 3 from Texas and 2 and 3 from Minnesota, you did a massive thing. How can we expect that, especially on the road? They've been a little bit better at home. You want to believe in this team because of how bad the American League is, but time and time again, for them to make that run, and we've said it, they were going to have to win a bunch of games in a row. They shocked me. I didn't think they'd be able to win 7 in a row. They did that, but they responded with baseball. Mm-hmm. I mean, I said it again. I don't want to keep talking about the Red Sox. 23 of 25. Could you imagine the Orioles being on that type of run? And the Red Sox, by the way, their offense, how much it's clicking, but they have a true rotation, which the Orioles do. The Orioles can match that. They just can't match the bats. They have not been able to. And if you would have told me to this point, this is how the season was going, they were still somewhat in it, I would have said it's because the bats are carrying. Coming into the year, Alonso's delivering. Their bats are holding them back. Yep. If the bats were just average or a little bit, if they were coming through in big spots, you can't do what they did against the Angels this year. I know they won the series. They took 2 or 3, but they should have been able to jump. And the Angels bullpen, they should have been able to jump on the starters. The Angels bullpen is just as bad. And you can't get anything going the way they do. it's hard to buy in when this is how it goes.
And now, as we said, the bats have been a problem all year in terms of consistency, at least. You go to Texas, you got Evaldi and DeGrom, first 2 games of that series. I mean, good luck.
5 hits, 6
good
hits
luck.
maybe.
I mean, Kumar Rocker, game 3, anything can happen in that one. He hasn't necessarily been great himself.
But Ryan Johnson can do it. Kumar can.
Exactly. And then you got Kramer to start the twin series. You know, he's licking his chops for that one.
Even Grayson.
The revenge series. I mean, look, anything can happen. And the way that the American League is situated right now, it's going to come down to the last couple of weeks. It's going to come down to the wire. And they're probably going to be in it unless they just bottom out on the road. And that's the thing. Majority of the rest of their season, they're on the road. They have the toughest remaining schedule in all of Major League Baseball right now. So not a ton of optimism, but this is where the romantic in me comes out, where it is baseball, as you say, and sports, they love a good story. They love a good storybook ending. Like, I could absolutely see, because the reality is, most likely whatever team gets in the last spot probably doesn't deserve it.
Right, exactly.
Probably doesn't deserve it.
Exactly.
So the Orioles are going to fall in that bucket. They could absolutely still get in, even though they haven't earned it. And look, they'll get what they get most likely. You know, it'll look like, and then it'll probably suck even more to watch it on a playoff level, watching guys kick the ball around in the infield, watching guys strike out on pitches 2 feet outside the zone. But that might end up being the reality.
Yeah, and fans react every time we bring up playoffs, and they're always like, this is not a playoff team, please stop talking playoffs. I totally get where you guys are coming from. I get we're all watching the same game. But at the end of the day, you got to be realistic with the MLB standings. Watch the Twins play. They're not a playoff team to me. Seattle's bats are worse than the Orioles. Mm-hmm. Their rotation's good, but so is the Orioles. Like, the teams that they're competing with, the Rangers have some championship pedigree with guys like DeGrom, Evaldi, and Evaldi has not been good this year. He'll turn it on tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You know how that goes. But again, it's in their hands. And then they're going to get a road trip in Colorado, a road trip in Sacktown. Can that get the bats going a little bit? Can that put them in a better spot before they return home for some really crucial ones? It wouldn't shock me in the slightest. I said it earlier. They're going to come into the last week and need to win like 4 of 6 or even 3 of 6. And finishing in the Bronx is just horrifying for me. The only thing would be Garrett Cole getting 3 innings of work because the playoffs are around the corner. They don't want to burn him out. Giving some guys just a little bit of work on their arm because the Yankees are already where they are. They don't need to risk anything. That would be their best shot. But the last time we saw them in the Bronx, it's scary. So when you look at the final stretch and all of those things, we're going to be talking playoffs for a while, as you said, unless things completely bottom out, which every team in the American League is not allowing. Because when the Orioles lose, everybody else loses. Yep. When the Orioles win, right. A few teams win, but one loses. So you're like, oh, they jumped up a spot. They're in it, and they're going to be.
Coming up next on the program, we'll get it started like we always do. It's the Bird Call. 410-583-1057 is the number. You want to talk about the Orioles, who lost 4-1 today to the Angels, despite taking 2 of 3 in this series. They're on their way to Texas to take on the Rangers. Pivotal series out there as the Rangers hold the final wild card spot right now in the American League. The Orioles still a game behind. So you want to talk some Orioles. You want to kind of express how you feel post-trade deadline. We can do that for sure. We'll talk about the MLB trade deadline that has come and gone at 6:30 as well. You want to talk some Ravens? We can do that. I've been out at camp a ton. Was out there again today. Ravens have the day off tomorrow, but they were in pads today. Ton of physicality out there. So you want to talk Ravens training camp as well. We can also do that. 410-583-1057. It's the Bird Call next on The Fan.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie and The Final Drive. Live on YouTube, Monday through Friday, 6 till 6. Search 105.7 The Fan, Baltimore. And never miss a moment of coverage on the teams you love.
You just fell on that wet floor at the grocery store? Ouch. Call 877-OUCH-911. I'm the attorney you can trust with your injury case. Let me handle the legal pain while you handle the ice pack. 877-OUCH-911 because I'm the attorney who actually gives a
The weather is warming up and baseball season is here. The perfect time to hang out at Cross Street Market, Baltimore's go-to spot in Federal Hill. Warm up with Ceremony Coffee and a treat from Crepe Crazy. Or enjoy great food, beer, and cocktails at stalls like Pizza to Joey, Theo's Rolls and Bowls, Dashi Ramen, Southside Burger, and the Red Hot Jollof Bowl. And don't forget Watershed, our anchor seafood restaurant with a rooftop deck and table service. There's always a reason to tell your friends, I'll see you at the market.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more.
Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast.
Can you find contractors nearby within our budget?
Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes!
Download the Albert app and use promo code FAST to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code FAST to get up to $10,000. That's promo code FAST.
Alex B and Zach came to the rescue when we lost our heat. The commercial I hear every day on my way to work is true. Amazing.
Greg did a great job.
Tony saved us tens of thousands of dollars because he was able to determine that our system's heat exchanger is fine.
Andre was over the top impressive, professional and diligent. He took his time to work the problem, not just diagnose a quick fix.
Zachary was able to remove and replace our AC system in what must have been record time. Amazing. Was amazing.
Anthony and Jamal were outstanding. The entire install completed in one day.
You can tell this company truly lives up to its name. Amazing. Their owner says he has the best people, and after this experience, I completely agree.
Those are snippets from 7 different Google reviews for amazing plumbing, heating, and air. And yes, I proudly claim to have the best techs, installers, and plumbers in Baltimore because I do. You can count on it at
Amazing. Go to callamazing.com.
To make exercise a habit, find something you enjoy, like shopping. It counts as a workout when it's Kohl's Active Sale. Get 20% off across the store and 25% off top active brands that'll have you feeling your best. Adding to your cart is pretty much cardio, right? Find out at Kohl's. Select styles. 25% offer ends August 15th. 20% offer ends August 16th. Exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
You're no stranger to working hard or to succeeding. You've raised your hand, jumped in, powered through, and stood out. And you're not about to stop. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you'll get the skills-based education to move your career forward. Going back for your degree, boosting your career goals, or making a full 180? Our more than 100 degrees and certificates will equip you with skills that today's employers are seeking. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, or build your skills in leadership, communication, and critical thinking. Affordable, online, and accredited education that fits your life, so you can succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. 410-583-1057 is the number. It is the bird call. Let's go to Timonium and get Robbie. Robbie, you're on The Fan.
Hey, I haven't talked to you in a minute, Cordell. How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
Well, I don't know why people are upset about the Rushman trade, because they made that deal last year when they bought the catcher up and gave him $80 million. And it was recertified when they signed Alonso for first base for $100 million. There's no place for Adley to play. And it worked out good because we got some young talent, and Adley worked out good because they don't need his bat in Boston. They need a glove. He's going to be in the playoffs. It's a win-win for everybody because there's no team with two catchers making $160 million. None. And we weren't going to be the first. And so this deal was made last year, not this year. It was already made. And in order to get something for him, you had to trade him now because this way you're going to get the most players for him. And they did a good job. I think it worked out good for everybody.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Robbie. I mean, it's tough to argue against that. I mean, I definitely agree that you wanted to try to maximize his value now, especially with the looming lockout next year and everything. It's just, and it, by all accounts, it seems like Adley didn't want to resign here in Baltimore either. So you kind of have to do what you have to do. I am just assuming and look, there are going to be people out there that had the emotional attachment to Adley, and I think that's fair. You know, you can't have it both. Like the team pumped Adley up. They called him up on the same day as Preakness. It was my birthday weekend. I remember being late to my own birthday dinner to go to Adley's introductory press conference because it was just, it was that big. You know, it was that big of a deal. So, you know, he was looked at as the new face of the franchise, the face of the rebuild. Mike Elias's legacy was directly attached to Adley Rutschman. So I think the attachment to Adley by fans is understandable because they sat through all these losing seasons. They trusted the process. And by trading Adley, it's an admission that the process didn't work. It didn't work. I don't think that necessarily means that they're wrong for trading Adley. Two things can be right at the same time. They had to do it, and especially with that type of offer that Boston is bringing, because obviously they want to keep him out of New York. But also, why are we here? We're here because it failed. So I think it's just a lot of different emotions caught up in it. And yeah, on paper, this looks like a great deal. But as we've seen here in Baltimore, we have no idea what these prospects are going to turn out to be. Maybe they don't even end up staying here very long. They could very well end up in another organization in the future because the Orioles are making a trade for a more established vet. Who knows how it goes, but it'll be some time before we actually can judge this deal.
Yeah, you make the point. Two things can be true. The situation sucks. It's a failure from what we were sold, right? He comes up, it's the face of the rebuild. And you see the jolt in 2023. At 24, you see him starting to kind of let off a little bit, but they still won a ton of games and were able to make the playoffs. The fact that wasn't turned into even a playoff win, they didn't make another appearance in the playoffs with him and then end up flipping him to a divisional rival. At that point, you got to get the most that you can for him, and they absolutely got back more than enough. It was a great trade. You're not going to get that from many teams. As the caller mentioned, Robbie mentions, like Boston had to give up a lot to get a good catcher because they needed that, and they did just that. If Carlos Narvaez is playing the way he was in the first half of last season, they wouldn't have needed that.
Exactly.
So it would have been probably a trade with the Yankees. But the teams around the league that needed catching help were all in the AL East. Everybody would have liked to have seen anybody but the Yankees or the Red Sox. It's really unfortunate it has to be the Red Sox. Again, I think it's a bigger issue with the situation, the fact that we're here. That's an issue. But you have to separate yourself from that, looking at the trade itself, saying you got back one of the top pitching prospects in baseball. You got back a first-round pick from last year, right hand. So they basically moved their top two pitching prospects. Azakar, who I'm going to talk about when we get to that segment later, who's my most exciting ad of that trade. They got back a lot. At the end of the day, this rebuild, and I'm not saying that they're going into another rebuild, but the rebuild to this point has been a failure.
Let's go to Glen Burnie and get Marty. Marty, you're on the Fan.
Hey guys, I'm a big fan of both of you guys. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it.
I want to talk about the Orioles. First thing I want to say is I love Adley. I'm a huge fan. Appreciated what he did for the organization, 22, 23 for sure. But to be honest, like watching him the past 3 years, I don't think he'll be more than that 2023 season. If that 20 home runs, 370 OBP, I don't know if he's going to be that again. And if he is, I don't know if he'll be even ever more than that. So I'm glad they got what they got, and it's an amazing haul. Like that pitcher, Eason, I think I'm mispronouncing his name. Eason, there you go. Yeah, he's one to watch. I think he's probably the best pitching prospect we've had since Grayson. So I think he has ace potential. I'm really excited to see what him and Joseph in AA, the guy we drafted in 2025.
Sure, well, yeah.
Both of them, what they can do, and if they can, ascend to the top of the rotation, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Marty. And I actually tend to agree. Like, we probably have seen the best of Adley Rutschman. I don't think that's a hot take.
Right.
But it is going to be interesting in that Hitters Park out there in Boston at Fenway, like that short porch out there in right field. We know how that green monster plays. Who knows what it could look like? Obviously, Camden Yards isn't the Hitter Park that it used to be years ago. So, I am curious to see how the park dimensions impact Adley going forward. But no doubt, I would assume that we have seen the best of Adley.
Yeah, and it goes back to the point that we were just making. It's a great point by the caller. I think because of the rebuild, the overview of everything, everybody's looking back like, we just got rid of one of the best players. Those weeks that he's in that spot in the lineup, absolutely. The big thing is it's weeks. It's not months that he's there. He had 2 IL stints. Now, they were babying him early. We were talking about all the time, like, they got to keep this dude in the lineup. And Albert has kept saying, like, we're going to be very, very cautious with our catchers. We want to maximize how many games we can get out of them. I don't know how that's going to flow in Boston. Now, if he goes there and all of a sudden the health is right, and maybe there's a different type of push for him there, and it's a chip on his shoulder all of a sudden, and we do see him break out in a big way. But to that, the past 3 years have been nothing that any of us expected from Adley. In a bad way. Like, he has not been very good. And I stuck by injuries for 2 years. And then he slowly started to come out and say that's what he was dealing with. But then this season, again, he goes to the IL. And he's been fine this season, but he hasn't even, when he's been on the field, he hasn't been amazing. So,
and again, it ain't leading to wins.
Exactly. And I think we're in love with the 23-24 version of Adley. Look, I am as frustrated that this is how the ending came as anybody else. But again, when I look at the trade and what they get back, it's more that I'm frustrated that this is how this rebuild has gone, and this is where we are compared to Adley being moved to a division rival when they stacked up, and the caller made the point. Giroux, Caden Hunter, who was a late pick. The Orioles have had lots of issues developing pitching in the past. Right now, it feels like they're in a really, really good spot with guys like Giroux, guys like Ianson, guys like Caden Hunter, who I said, late round pick. It's like the Nate George of pitchers. So maybe they are starting to figure out pitching. But again, you don't want to be here when they draft him in 2019. It's like, we're going to suck right now. But when Adley's up, we're going to see good results. And then he comes up and we see it for 2 years. And after that, it's just straight down.
We're supposed to be living the golden years right now.
That's what everybody told us. That's not local media. That is national media that was buying into. That's why I get frustrated. It's not just people who are just around the team. Everybody around baseball was saying this Orioles team, with the prospects and with everything they had, they're going to be the next big thing. And it was really fun in 23. 24 is a little bit less fun. And ever since, it's been dreadful.
Let's grab one more call before we go to break. Let's get Chris in Catonsville. Chris, you're on the Fan.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to change things up a bit. I honestly believe the worst thing that has happened to Lamar, this might sound crazy, but the blown call at the end of the Super Bowl versus the 49ers that allowed the 49ers to not have a first and goal with like 10 seconds to go, I think that kept John Harbaugh here and basically flattened Lamar's first 7 years in the NFL. I think, it won him a Super Bowl then, but I think he'd have been gone long before he was, and I think you're going to see what Lamar can do with a real honest-to-God football coach at the helm. Yeah. I think this is going to be a breakout year, even though he's had three other great years. I think this will be his best. And Lamar knew what he was talking about when he said this will be, his best is yet to come.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Chris. I mean, hey, history has shown us when Lamar gets a new offensive coordinator, I mean, he ends up having a career year. He ends up winning MVP. So it's not the craziest thing. I mean, in terms of like Harb still sticking around, if they hadn't won the Super Bowl that year, you never really know. I mean, if he doesn't go to Lamar's rookie year, he's gone, so right. It's a lot of what ifs. It's always that way. But John's gone now, and now we'll get to see. And that's not to say that, like, if they don't win now, it's all Lamar. Like, again, football, it's everybody. It is the ultimate team sport for a reason. So while the quarterback is always going to get highlighted in wins and talked about and when they lose, like, it takes all 11 on the field. It takes all three phases. And for me, the main reason why the Ravens haven't won a Super Bowl, even gotten to the Super Bowl in the Lamar Jackson era, is because they have not played a total team game in the postseason. There's always been something that's lacking. And if it's the offense having a bad first half, it's the defense having a bad second half. It's something. It's always something. So hopefully they get away from that. Their motto has been, be at your best when your best is needed. We'll see if we can get that this year.
Yeah, you know how I feel about John. I definitely could have gotten worse than Harbaugh, but I also think it was time. We saw them reach high highs and just kind of fizzled out, and it was a little bit of complacency. I think Lamar is going to do very well with Jesse Minter and this new staff, but that's a thought. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it live in games. A lot of time to be played and things go. And everybody, I mean, I was one of the fans screaming for Mike McDonald when that whole situation happened, which was very hard to happen because John still wants to coach clearly. But yeah, it was a good run, but I think change was certainly needed.
Coming up next on the program, we'll continue to take your calls if you want to get in. 410-583-1057 is the number. We'll also talk about our takeaways from the Orioles trade deadline. They move on from Adley. Also send Tyler Wells to New York. You've got Taylor Ward out in Seattle on the West Coast. We'll talk about some of the moves the Orioles made next here on The Fan.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
I'm Eric Sobel from Ace Law. If you're injured in an accident, the last thing you need is to fight with the insurance companies, find doctors, and file more and more paperwork. That's where we come in. We treat you like family and handle everything. Call us at 8888 ACE Law and come up Aces.
Circulating Knowledge is sponsored by Vascular Surgery Associates.
Hello, I am Dr. Michael Osgood with Vascular Surgery Associates, or VSA. Do you have heavy, achy, painful legs? Do you notice swelling in your feet and legs throughout the day? Do you have unsightly or uncomfortable varicose veins? If you have any of these symptoms, you may be suffering from chronic venous insufficiency, and we at VSA can help. Visit us at vsaveins.com. That's vsaveins.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. CFG Bank Arena is officially one of the hottest concert venues in the world. And this summer, get ready because it's gonna be a scorcher. With today's top artists like Olivia Dean, Casey Musgraves, Tame Impala, Doja Cat, and Niall Horan. CFG Bank Arena has got you covered for the best music, fan-filled nights, and all the sensational concert vibes summer can bring. It's sure to be lit, and we're not stopping, with more major announcements on the way. Visit CFGBankArena.com and get your tickets today. CFG Bank Arena, the biggest shows, the biggest names in entertainment, and the best seats in Baltimore.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's 5 o'clock. Your employees are headed home, but you're still updating spreadsheets, switching between software, and wondering where the day went. There's a better way. Odoo brings accounting, sales, inventory, CRM, and more together in one fully integrated platform. So you spend less time managing software and more time running your business, because your workday should end eventually. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
It's Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. Coming up at 6:45, we'll play you some of the Ravens audio from this week. A lot of audio to choose from. So we'll see who you hear from in the next segment. And of course, at 7 o'clock, we'll get to what we missed. Cubs sweeping the Dodgers. Aaron Donald looks like he's getting closer to signing with the Rams. Wide receiver did sign with a new team, and a couple of running backs got paid too. So we'll try to get to all of that at 7. But Ben, right now, we're recapping the Orioles trade deadline, and it was a busy one for the Birds. But the big story, obviously, is trading away Adley Rutschman. And they send him to a division rival. He goes to Boston. And I'll always say I'm never okay with trading with rivals, trading within a division. But I get that baseball and basketball are just different when it comes to that type of stuff. But it's just a tough pill to swallow at the end of the day. But obviously, you get the Orioles moving Adley out to Boston. Orioles get 3 of Boston's top 5 prospects in their system in return as well. So it feels like a potential win-win. And depending on who you talk to, really most of people that you talk to about the trade, they'll tell you Boston probably overpaid for Adley. I mean, that's a bigger haul than what the Tigers got back for Skubal, albeit Skubal's a rental. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it seems like there was a true bidding war for Adley that kind of drove the price up.
And depending on 2027, Adley technically could be a rental.
Honestly,
if we get a lockout. But no, they did get a lot. And for people questioning it, like, you get the 2 best pitching prospects for them. Ianson, who's top 50 prospect in general. And I do want to say this, which I think a lot of people get caught up when we're seeing mock drafts and these things. MLB top 100 prospects do not get moved at the trade deadline much at all. It's not normal. Last year, we saw it with Leo DeVries in the Mason Miller trade. It was for Mason Miller, a different type of player. We see it here with Adley. There are select few times where you'll see it happen, but it's not normal. It just doesn't happen. Noel V. Marte for the Luis Castillo deal, when they sent him to Seattle, Cincinnati sent him to Seattle. It'll happen occasionally, but it's not a normal thing. So the Orioles were able to get back Ianson. They get back Carlos Narvaez, who the first half of last season, he was hitting like an all-star. He's great behind the plate, so they get that to basically replace, because Sam Basayo's not going to catch every day. It's going to be 50-50. I like getting Narvaez back. Kyson Witherspoon's more of a wild card to me. I know he's their 4th best prospect. He's supposed to be very good, but we'll see. He was a first-round pick last year. And then Andy Azakar. That's my favorite get of this trade. He's already raking at Frederick. I need to see it all around. We got to see it when he moves up to AA. We got to see it has to continue. But I do like the bat a lot. It's a guy that you've got to watch his swing and watch him play a little bit. It does kind of remind me of Ronald Acuna a little bit, and that's like throwing a big thing. I'm talking about like form and how it looks, not what he could be. I mean, maybe he could. You never really know. But some of these guys, he's just raked, and he's changed his approach. He's just 19 years old, but we're starting to see a little bit more power with him. Comes over with Frederick and is smashing the baseball in his first few games. So I do like the Azarkar get. I think that's going to be... Ianson is supposed to be the big thing. It would not shock me in the slightest if Azarkar is the best thing to get here. But to it, and we did have a commenter. We do read our comments. I know last week somebody was asking if we do. We always are because we want to respond to them. But they did say if we're bad at developing pitching, how is it a good thing that we got pitching prospects? For a while, I'm fully with you. I get it. But to that point, like Kyle Bradish was a part of that Dylan Bundy trade. He got developed elsewhere and then spent a little bit of time here in the minors. They bring him up and he was good. And all of a sudden, I just say we have names like Caden Hunter popping, who's probably going to be the minor league pitcher of the year. You have Giroux, who pitched in the Futures game. He's been a complete stud. Luis De Leon. Like, we're starting to see some pitching names pop. Now, I got to see it in the big league level. I fully agree with that. We need to see it older. But even like Brandon Young, B. Wyatt, and Cordell and I have talked about this on air and off air. When it happens next year, I'll be fully bought in if it happens next year. It's still early. But he was a guy who, there was a lot of hype in the minors. Then he got Tommy John. He works his way back. And he's been awesome. So, quite honestly, every guy in this trade is not going to work out. This isn't going to be slam dunk for everybody. But if they can get 2 or 3, one of the starters, Azarkar and Carlos Narvaez is a serviceable backup catcher, then you're feeling good about it. But at the end of the day, if Boston gets to a World Series and Adley Rutschman plays a role in that, they can't be upset that they overpaid for him.
Let's get to the Taylor Ward deal. Taylor Ward gets sent out to Seattle for Alex Hoppe, Brock Moore, Harrison Creeling, 3 right-handed pitchers in return for Taylor Ward. And I don't think any of us are surprised that Ward was on the move. He was a rental himself, and he hasn't been as advertised. Having a solid offensive year, but definitely not by his standards. It's just been different as opposed to showing the power. He's showing the on base. He's showing the ability to work walks. But the Orioles got him to be able to flex some power, driving runs, and maybe be a better right fielder, a left fielder than he was. So not surprised or upset to see him moved, and now he's in Seattle still in the thick of things for the wild card.
Yeah, he was hitting 8 in the first 2 games, and then earlier today, still going on now. He was a leadoff hitter.
I get destroyed.
And Seattle hasn't scored a run. But not Taylor Ward, I think the trade, Taylor Ward brought a good profile. He brought something that this lineup needed, but they also needed Gunnar to come through if that was the Taylor Ward you were going to get. We'd be talking about him scoring way more runs.
Yep.
A way different player if Gunnar was coming through in the spots that he was. But when Taylor Ward leads off with a walk or a single, and your next guy either grounds into a double play, strikes out, slams bat, whatever, like you're putting a hole. And those walks were meaningless in some of these at-bats. But other teams around the league, I thought they might view him a little higher. I know it was still rental. Ultimately, and you can't always do this, but I do need to bring it up. Like, you traded Grayson Rodriguez for 3 relievers. Hoppe's arm looks awesome, right? He's throwing 100. Everybody saw it the other night. First pitch almost takes Grissom's head off, but he settles down. He's able to get some outs. It's an exciting arm. But again, Grayson Rodriguez, there's so much time before we can fully view that trade because Grayson Rodriguez has control, but he looked good against you yesterday. And I was fine moving him. Clearly, they weren't comfortable with the medicals. And even Grayson kind of took a shot.
He didn't know where it would be if he was still in Baltimore.
Which was like, okay. Well,
right. Well, they've never seen eye to eye when it comes to his injuries and rehab and all of that. So I'm not even surprised to see that quote when I saw it. Last one here, at least for now. Tyler Wells, he gets shipped out to Tampa Bay for Michael Ferret. Wells, one of their best bullpen arms, looked pretty good for Tampa the other day. Kind of just another one of those is what it is, I guess.
Glad they got Ferret back. I just don't know. Your bullpen is horrendous.
Yeah.
I think it's not good. And the get back is we're going to send Tyler Wells. And again, 2027 is a huge question mark. And the front office is probably acting that way when you move a guy like Tyler Wells. That dude's been through so much. And this year, he's taken on a massive role and has been one of their only reliable relievers down this stretch. So it's hard for me. Again, we hear like, yeah, we're still going for the playoffs. And Ferret was an arm they really didn't want to give away, but you got to give something up to get something. And that's how they got Boz. I get that. It's good to get him back, and they're saying he's a major league ready arm. I don't know. And then he goes down to Tampa and shuts things down, 4Ks.
Shocker.
Brian Baker, you give him away for a compensatory pick. He goes down there and is the best closer in the AL or the second best closer in the AL. I don't know. It's tough for me to give away one of your best relievers and then tell me, well, we're still, if you would have brought a different reliever back, a guy under control that would be through next year, it's like, okay, well, they tried to fill that. You didn't. I hear Felix might be back. I'm not putting stock in that.
I told you they
Helsley
keep
might be back.
that. They're pushing that.
That's a loud noise. So I don't know. I don't like giving away one of your best relievers, but if Michael Ford is really as good as they expect, then they were able to get him back, which is good.
Coming up next, we'll hear from some of the Ravens. We'll also get to a couple of the calls that have been on hold as well. That's next on The Fan.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
Here are some essential can't-miss concerts coming to the DMV this summer. At Merriweather Post Pavilion, it's a triple header of shows starting with country music star Thomas Rhett on August 13th, The Fray with Dashboard Confessional on August 14th, and the iconic Zac Brown Band on August 15th. Then at the Anthem, catch the Texas country rocker Co Wetzel on August 20th. Get your tickets for these shows and more at impconcerts.com. That's impconcerts.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid...
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Plug-in Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end September 8th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
You love the physicality. I mean, I was like, man, we wanted it to be a really physical day. We wanted it to be a long practice. We wanted them to kind of fight through some things. Long drive drills where it's intentionally an 8 or 9 play drive, regardless of the down and distance. And so you want to be able to do all that with a high level of physicality and also keep your wits about you. And know that in a game, like, people do things, man. People tug on your jersey after the play, try to get you to respond, chirp in your ear, try to get you to respond. And so we just got to be so dialed in on why we're out here, making each other better. Again, love the competitive spirit, love the physicality, and let's just keep it about the football.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. That was Ravens head coach Jesse Minter there talking about today's practice, which was a physical one for sure. And a long practice too. Practice went about 2 hours and 20 minutes, I believe. So yeah, definitely on the longer side today. Hot. This might have been the hottest day, coming off of yesterday where it was just a complete downpour. Today the sun was unforgiving, and they're in pads. It was very chippy at one point. Lot of back and forth at one point. But today you got the full package of Jesse Minter. Because I watched him today go up and give the defense an earful after a little too much extracurricular after the play. And it was quick. It's just quick and to the point. But you heard him from the sideline, and also heard Declan Doyle getting on a couple of guys today too. So I just think with the heat, the pads, the physicality, everybody was on edge today. Nobody was messing around, but pretty good physical practice today. We got a live session on the back end of practice to do today as well. It's like for the first time, like live hitting. So that was really good to see. Adam Randall really highlighted that drive, a 3-play drive where he capped it off with a receiving touchdown. And you heard Jesse there talk about having like 8-play drives. I like that. And a lot of coaches, and I remember John and Jesse's done it a lot too. They do a lot of situational stuff. You'll have your second down drill, your 1st and 10 drill, your 3rd and short drill. But I like to see offenses and defenses for that matter, get in the habit of a sustained drive, get in the habit of stacking plays, moving the marker, getting a chunk play here and there. Just getting in that mentality of getting used to having a 4-minute drive. Like I just think that's going to do wonders going forward with these dudes.
And that 23 team was able to do that, and they could hit the big play, and they could run clock. And even like 2019, I know it wasn't successful in the playoffs, but I remember that rain game in Baltimore against San Francisco, who was a great team that year, and they were just running the ball, running the clock, when they were in control like that, then Lamar beat you with the play pass, and then you're hurt, and then we'll run it again, take 5. Like, that's when this offense is sinking. We saw in 23 when they were so damn good during the regular season. But it is interesting. I think, and I haven't been out there as much as you, but I've been out there a lot. Jesse Minter has surprised me a little bit, just because I feel like coming into the year, I don't want to say robotic, because Jesse Minter is his own guy. He's, I'll say more quiet, more on the quiet end. But there's just a different feel now that I'm out there and practice starts. It's just a different feel to me about what he's his own guy. He knows who he is. He's confident in himself. And I do think that we've seen Declan Doyle yell at the offense. We've seen Jesse Minter kind of go after the defense a little bit. I think these dudes are holding these players to a different type of accountability. And that's what it has to be in year one. Like, year one is not the learning year. Year one for a team with this expectation has to be more than the playoffs, more than 10-7 or 11-6. Like, Super Bowl has to be the goal. And they've said it, but seeing it at practice. And again, we won't know anything until week 1 starts and we see legit things. But the practice field does feel, it's good to me.
Let's hear from the money man, Zay Flowers. He signed a 4-year, $140 million extension, including $108 million guaranteed. Here's Zay talking about his conversation with Eric DeCosta leading up to his extension.
Yeah, me and EDC had a talk right before practice, and it was a good conversation on how we felt about the situation. And he said he was going to take care of me, and I never doubted that. Said I've been his guy since I came in. That's 100% true, because every time I talk to him, he always have a smile on his face. We always have good conversations. And I feel he the GOAT, man, how he draft players and the type of players he go get. So, I love EDC.
And clearly EDC loves Zay. I mean, we talked to EDC earlier this offseason. We asked him about Zay Flowers. He gushed about him. I was filling in for Bob the other week, and me and Vinny interviewed Eric DeCosta, and I asked him about the Zay extension, and he seemed very optimistic about it. Then this was something that everybody expected to happen. And I've seen some of the national guys like poo-pooing on it and making it seem like this is a terrible. What did they think was going to happen? Did you really think the Ravens were going to let Zay Flowers out the door? You think they're not going to pay him because he's small? Like, Zay's production speaks for himself. And look, even I've said, would I like to see his touchdowns go up? Absolutely. Would I like to see the ball security get better? Yes. Would I like to see him be a little more sure-handed? Yes. Zay's not perfect. But where in the world would this offense be without Zay Flowers? They need him. And also, I don't think it hurts the chances of a Lamar extension in the future. I've been on the record saying I don't think Lamar's going anywhere anyway, but I would be slightly surprised if Zay Flowers is signing this extension without some sort of idea that Lamar Jackson is going to be his quarterback for the foreseeable future.
Without a doubt. And I'll give you credit because you have played it that way where it's, he needs to see his touchdown numbers go up. He needs to do some things differently, but he also deserves his money. And I feel like in today's football age, which is so frustrating for me, and as a guy who bets and gives out bets, I try to do everything I can to stay out of it. Keeping your fantasy view and your betting view away from the player itself. And all of these fantasy guys are commenting on the deal itself. And, well, he does this. And Zay means so damn much to this offense that he was worth every dollar there. And the salary cap's only going to increase. Mm-hmm. And that number's only going to get lower and lower. And before any time, by the time the contract's up, we're going to be saying, oh, Zay's being paid as the 20th receiver. The 20th. Yep. That's how this works. You got it done now. You were never going to get him for super cheap. And people are saying, oh, it's comparable with Justin Jefferson. Well, when Jefferson was paid, he was the guy. And when all these guys are paid, is he the same receiver as Justin Jefferson? No, he's not. But that's how this sport works. That's how the game is. They got him 5th best. I have no issue with it. Going into it, I could not expect it to be, oh, they're going to get him on the cheap end. Zay's produced too much. He needs to score more. But for the fantasy football people and the bettors and all that, well, when you look at watch the Ravens games. Turn it on and watch the Ravens games and see the impact he has on this offense. By the way, I know we always get on the fumble in Kansas City. His rookie year, really tough play. All those things happen. Most important moments last year against the Steelers. Turn on the game. Tell me what happened. Because I saw 2 bombs over the top, him making those plays while he's also making plays underneath. Because that is the type of receiver that he can be. We want more touchdowns. And I do think that.
And he said it out.
He's been open about it. Right. He's been completely open about it. So I just think people get too caught up in certain things. Some fantasy guys get caught up in just fantasy versus watching the game itself and seeing impact.
And for the people that are like, oh, like you said, he's getting paid at the same rate as Justin Jefferson, that's going to change. I can assure you Justin Jefferson will have a new contract at some point, probably after this season, now that he has somewhat of a real quarterback throwing him the ball again.
No, Nines has a shot. Nine has a shot.
That dude's a bum.
Nine has a shot.
Yeah, shot at the bench. Let's grab a call real quick. Let's go to Southern Maryland and get Steve. Steve, you're on the Fan.
Yo, Cordell.
What's up?
How fellas doing?
Good.
What's going on?
Hey, before I get to the Orioles, Cordell, since you're the same as me, a Manders fan, what do you think about Diggs?
Oh, I love it.
Can't escape
I tried to I tried to
it.
push him over to the Ravens, and Ravens fans kind of gave me grief for that. So, hey, I'll take him. Hey, I told Ben earlier, it's the best wide receiver tandem that the team has had since Garcon and Djax was there. It's the best receiver that Terry McLaurin has played with to this point in his career.
Can we
it's
stop
absolutely
talking
work.
Commanders?
I was just answering his question.
No, I was just asking.
I'm just answering the question.
My bad. He was helping brother now. Answer my question. That's all. Don't give him a hard time, man.
Hey, I'm just answering the question.
I just didn't know Commanders, please. Sorry.
Give my frustration with Gunner today. I can't remember what it was. It was either the bottom of the 5th or bottom of the 6th. And that pop-up he had in right field where he just stayed in the batter's box.
Yep.
And, if that ball was dropped or anything, he could have been at second base and Lazaro could have been at home. And it's just it's a different ball game. It's just I know it's frustrating. It's a frustrating game. Believe me, I know. But, you have to be ready for every play. You have to make 100% effort on every play. People be running out of bases when the balls hit to him because you never know when the ball's going to him these days. So you got to have that same mindset, and I hope he changes it because if he could just get a little bit better, this team would go somewhere. And hopefully when Blaze get back and Posadio gets back, this lineup look a little different. I mean, they're right there. The dudes need to step up, and hopefully they do because I think they can make some noise of it. They got a pitcher staff. Bullpen's a little shaky. I wish they got a bat like Luis Arraez because he's not going to cover all since he got to Philly. But I don't know. We'll see. Hey, I love the Orioles either way.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Steve. And look, I mean, we're up against the break, so we got to go. But Gunner, this season, and I hate to put it on one guy. I'm not putting the entire season on him, but we're here mainly because of Gunnar Henderson not being Gunnar Henderson this year. If Gunnar is Gunnar, is Adley gone? Like, are they sellers at the deadline? You said it earlier. Taylor Ward season would have been viewed differently if Gunnar's driving him in when he's getting on base. It just has not been to that point, at least so far. What you got?
No, I just real quick I want to get to it. Everything except whatever he was talking about the Commanders. I disagree with whatever he was saying Commanders-wise, but let's talk Orioles. No, he's right. And watching that live, it's a pop-up to right, and I'm watching the box. We got, the angle we have in the box. Gunner's just standing there. The ball is fair. They almost botch it. Josh Love, we know his history in right field. The Mancini drop on Mo Gabbard. He is just standing there and is like, if that ball hits low and bounces around, I genuinely don't know if Gunnar gets a second. The caller was right. He was legitimately just not moving. And remember in Tampa Bay, Rosarena, soft throwing and Gunner's taking third and playing with that. That's gone from him. And to your point, an average Gunnar Henderson right now, the Orioles are they're the 6th spot. They are. He has been a below average baseball player. It's hard to see.
Coming up next, we'll get to what we missed. We'll continue to get to your calls throughout the last hour of the show as well, but we'll get to what we missed next here on The Fan.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
The summer sell-a-thon is on at Bob Bell Ford of Bel Air. Shop a huge selection of new Ford trucks, SUVs, and quality pre-owned vehicles with deals worth the drive. Your best drive starts this summer. Visit BobBellFordBelAir.com or call 410-838-3100 today.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 100 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
This is WJZFM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. It's time for what we missed. And we do tend to miss a lot.
Yep.
When you only are on once a week, it's only but so much time that you have. So we created this segment to help us out with that. And now let's bring in Mike Pope.
Starting with baseball, the Cubs swept the Dodgers. All eyes were on this series, especially on Tuesday when Tariq Skubal took the mound. He had 6 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. What does this mean for the Dodgers and Tariq Skubal?
Well, ultimately, it probably doesn't mean much for them. I think that series was more about the Cubs than the Dodgers necessarily. The Dodgers have shown, like, you got to beat them when it counts. Can you beat that team 3 or 4 times. Talk to me when you can in the playoffs in October, not now in August. But like you said, that series was Scooble gets his first start. He kind of goes out there, looks okay, but the Cubs get to him. That lineup in Chicago is just unreal at times. But honestly, I would say this series was more about the MVP race between PCA and Ohtani. And
the new favorite.
Man, yesterday, both of those dudes, that was just crazy. Watching PCA have the game of his life and then Ohtani just casually 2 home runs on the day.
And the Oppo one.
Just, oh man, single-handedly brought the Dodgers back in that game, honestly. But yeah, I love this MVP race. I love what I'm seeing from PCA these days. And I think everybody's going to say Ohtani should win MVP. And I'm not here to argue against that. But I do think that we're going to have a little bit of
fatigue.
I don't think there's any fatigue with him, though. I don't get the sense that nationally there's any fatigue with Ohtani.
MLB's different than the NBA, I'll give you that.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I was about to compare it to like the Embiid and Joker MVP situation where Embiid did get it because there was MVP fatigue with Jokic. But I don't get the sense here. But the argument of what is the MVP about? Is it about the best player or is it about the most valuable? And obviously when Ohtani is pitching, he's immediately the most valuable player in the game. But he hasn't been pitching recently. I'm assuming he's going to go back to pitching at some point. I don't know in what capacity, but I know he wants the Cy Young Award. He's made that clear. But in this case, and granted, Ohtani's a great player, whether he's just a positional guy or a dual threat. But I think there's an argument to be made about PCA maybe being, assuming Ohtani's not pitching, there's an argument to be had about PCA being more valuable to the Cubs than Ohtani is to the Dodgers, I think. I'm not saying that I'm giving it to PCA, but I am willing to hear that argument out. And maybe it's just a piece of me that just wants this to be more of a storyline than it is. But PCA looks great right now, man. He's the hottest player in baseball.
PCA is, I think, one of my favorite players to watch. Dog, to say the least. And he's a very fun player. That being said, I still think it's Ohtani's. It's going to come down to late. And does Ohtani get back on the mound? And how does that change things? But the voter fatigue of it all, if there was, and that's why I said the MLB and the NBA are different. If there was true voter fatigue, Judge loses last year and Riley wins it.
Right.
And like, I hate the Yankees, not a big Judge guy. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on. What Riley's doing as a catcher is awesome. Hasn't been done before. Judge, when you take him out of the Yankees lineup, it's felt like
without a doubt. We're seeing it.
Exactly that. So, and we saw it last year when he was a little banged up. So, again, this is a really fun watch. And even a 5-game series between these two in the playoffs just would hit. Like that. This is just two of the best teams in baseball going at it. Two teams with a big market. Two teams that always try to go for it. I know Jed Hoyer last year got a lot of criticism, and he should have, because that team last year had a solid thing going for him. But now the lineup, as you say, the lineup is so damn good. But to it, you could beat the Dodgers 7 times, all 7 games in the regular season. In the playoffs, I find it hard to believe you're going to do it.
Yeah, PCA, like I said, like you guys said, is one of my favorite players in baseball, especially that the voters fatigue is going to come in. But when you think about his contribution to the Cubs, you can argue that it may be more than Ohtani's just a little bit. It's because the Dodgers are just so good that if you compare the Dodgers and the Cubs, you honestly can't compare that with rosters. But you know the impact that Pico Armstrong makes. He's an elite center fielder. He can hit the ball really good. Really, really, really good defensive player. And the thing I like about him is he's fast and he comes to the ball at any times. And that's how the Cubs play defensively to me. They all come to the ball. They all know what they're doing. And he's hitting really good right now. But shifting gears to the NFL, Aaron Donald might be making a return. He was working out in a helmet at the Los Angeles Rams facility. Rams head coach Sean McVay noted that the discussions are trending upward and joked that it was the best trial we ever had. Though a final decision has not been made, could we see a comeback from Aaron Donald? And if he does, what does this mean for the rest of the NFL?
They're screwed. I mean, it'll be the best defensive line in probably in NFL history, or close to it. Close to it. I mean, has anybody ever thought about Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald on the same D line? We literally watched last year every team going up against the Browns, doubling, at times triple teaming Myles Garrett. Right. What are you going to do when Aaron Donald's on the field? And he's in the middle. He's in the middle of the line. He can play outside too. They play him all over the place. It's not going to be fair. He's coming back. It just is what it is. He's coming back now, and I can't even hate watch the Rams. I like the Rams. I like the Rams. So it's going to be crazy to see this year because their offense is already so potent. And now this defense, and even without Donald, this defense was going to be fantastic this year. With Donald, even in a limited capacity, it's just going to be unfair.
I honestly, they were my Super Bowl pick coming in without him, and now he's going to play. And all year we started hearing rumors. And once you start hearing some of those rumors, the guys don't shoot it down. It's like, just make it happen. Just do it. It did make me laugh, though, just thinking back to this. Like, the Ravens offensive line, when it's awful, people are like, get Yanda out of retirement. Yanda's lost, like, all these pounds because Yanda's biking in the woods and stuff. But, no, just funny. A guy that's dominated in the NFL as long as he has. And I am interested to see what type of impact did the offseason have on his body. Was he okay? Was he fine? Was he working through this stuff? Was he always preparing for this? Or was it one of those things where if this team gets to a point where I know I can help them win a Super Bowl, I'll be back? I don't know. Like, we'll see how it looks. But I'm going to bet on the Aaron Donald of the past, or at least something close to it.
Yeah, with Aaron Donald, anytime, I don't care how old he is, he's one of those players. There's just certain players that are in the NBA or NFL baseball that if they come on your team, they're going to make an immediate impact. And that's Aaron Donald. He was already in football shape. He's been working out ever since he retired. And if you, like you guys are saying, if you bring him on that Rams team right now with Myles Garrett, I don't want to see them. If I'm any team in the NFL, I don't want to play the Rams week 1. And he not only amplifies just the lineup, he brings that leadership quality to the team. And then they signed Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie. So you have veterans all throughout that team. And some of their problems were last year that the defense was inconsistent. The offense had to put up 35, 40 points a game. Sometimes the defense didn't play good. Sometimes they did play good. So now if he comes back, that sends a statement to the NFL that the Rams are trying to go to the Super Bowl. Now, sticking with the NFL, there are 3 big names that got paid. Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jonathan Taylor agreed to a 2-year, $44 million contract extension. Bijan signed a 3-year contract extension up to $75 million. That deal includes $51 million in guaranteed money. And Jahmyr Gibbs signed a 3-year, $67.5 million contract extension that could be worth up to $75.75 million. Which one of these 3 running backs would you have leading your franchise?
Well, we're talking about the 3 highest paid running backs in the game right now, and shout out to all of them. They all deserve it. Man, I love JT. I love JT. I really do. I think last year for like maybe up until 2 weeks before Daniel Jones gets hurt, Jonathan Taylor looked like the MVP. That said, he's a little older than the other 2 guys. Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs are like, it's no wrong answer. I'd probably go Bijan, though. Bijan is just out of this world good. And every time he touches the ball, you feel like he can score. And you could say the same thing for Gibbs at times. He gets in that mode. But Bijan is just, and it's a shame that the Falcons haven't been able to capitalize off of his production and how good he's been. But Bijan Robinson is the best running back in the NFL in my eyes.
Without a doubt, I wouldn't. And this is not disrespect to JT or Gibbs, both of them elite running backs. I wouldn't even like turn it. As soon as you ask the question, for me, it's Bijan. And Bijan's game, it's like, you know when you're growing up and you play Madden and you just wanted to have fun, so you'd be like, all right, I'm turning all the tackles on 0 and breaking 1 million tackles and juking everybody out of their shoes. He makes plays like that regularly. And he plays with 3 different quarterbacks. And he plays with an offensive line that was fine, not amazing, but it was a fine offensive line. Like, Bijan is a different type of player. He can hurdle you. He can beat you with a shoulder. He's not scared. And he always plays so joyful. Like, Bijan is just such a fun watch. But, again, between the three, I think he's the best player. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs tied. AAV, they're both getting paid right there. It's good to see some running backs get paid. I know we've talked to Derrick Henry about it before, and guys like that, they like seeing other running backs get paid. But this is like a new era. These guys are the Saquon Barkley mold of do it on both in the passing game and the run game and do different types of things in those offenses.
We're talking about focal points of their offense, all three of them. And eventually, A-Chain, he'll be a part of that group as well.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Bijan, personally, for me, is my favorite running back in the NFL, but I would start a franchise with him. Like you said, Jonathan Taylor is older, so I would put it between Jahmyr Gibbs and him. But I just love the way that Bijan plays. I love the jump cut that he has. I feel as though if you're one-on-one with him, there's no way that you could tackle him because you don't know if you're going to get a stiff arm. You don't know with the jump cut. You don't know what could happen with Bijan. He could catch the ball out the backfield. You can run a lot of screens with him. There's nothing really that he cannot do. And once he hits that second gear, there's nothing you could do to catch him. So I would definitely go with Bijan on that one.
Let's grab a call before we go to break real quick. Jonathan in Essex, he's been holding for a while. Jonathan, what's up, man? You're on the Fan.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on,
Jonathan?
Man, I can tell, listen to you guys. You guys are some young gentlemen, man. You guys are young fellas. I hear you guys talk. It sound like my son sometimes when you guys talk about, oh, man, Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett. Man, look, dude, I've seen great defensive line. I've seen the steel curtain. I've seen Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, Reggie White, minister of defense. I've seen them. So, they're going to be great. But that doesn't say dominance. This guy, Aaron Donald, he's still great. I've seen 2 gold jackets on the line. But what I called about was really about the Orioles and the Ravens. The Orioles, right quick, is plain and simple. Anybody calling about talking about the Orioles, that's plain and simple. That's just therapy, man. Like you said, man, Gunner ain't hustling. People don't hold him accountable. I can remember when they were saying, man, he didn't run. And he didn't run. But nobody's going to say anything about Gunner. But the deal what I was going to call with about Lamar, they had that text. I don't know if you guys heard about it in the last segment. They were talking about some guy who they got Lamar came in at the second tier. But they said that don't you think if Lamar can't run, don't you think that he doesn't want to do it? So you mean to tell me they got that so much they trying to get inside his head? They said if his legs go bad, he's just going to quit. I just hate to hate on Lamar, and I just had to get that out of my system. But I can't believe that there are people out there with that kind of thought process. That's all, fellas.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Jonathan. I mean,
hit the nail on the head.
The thing is, I don't know how much of that stuff they believe. Like in this era of content, and I don't watch these streamers. I don't watch any of these streamers. Sometimes I see clips though. And my biggest pet peeve is when they're doing something stupid that should get you punched in the face. And they're just like, dude, it's just content. It's not real life. It's content. What? That's the craziest thing to me. But that's, especially in the offseason, that's what a lot of the national guys are putting out. You know, they're going to put out things to get certain people going. And Lamar is always the low-hanging fruit. It's no different than them doing a topic on LeBron James and poo-pooing on him, and then you're going to get LeBron James people riled up. They know the list of names that you can mention, and it's going to drive your numbers up. So they're really just trying to get to you, dude. I would like to believe that these people don't sincerely believe that Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP, a unanimous MVP, a Heisman winner, is a tier 2 quarterback. I don't believe that they think that.
It's just ignorant. And to be honest with you, like, they know the Ravens fan base is going to be in their comment. The Raven fan base doesn't play about Lamar on Twitter. It's funny. I used to do it. I would used to go back and forth with people. I would get so frustrated. I tell the story all the time. I used to get genuinely angry. And then I was like, why am I getting angry at these people who want me to be angry when they don't know what they're talking about? I don't ever care. It is what it is. Now, like that whole month and a half stretch of, hey, man, Fox Sports got this clicks. Now we're ESPN. We need to compete with that. Somebody on here say Lamar isn't it. And the next person, hey, all right, well, because they're doing it, CBS Sports. Listen, if one of you guys can say Lamar isn't it, we're going to get some clicks today.
Take it a step further.
And then like, you have contact with an NFL executive that doesn't like Lamar, right? They were wrong when they drafted him. How about you get a good quote from him and let's put it out? Like, who knows where this exec is? It's all anonymous. It is what it is. But yeah, I did see the quote where it's like, well, he doesn't want to use his legs. He's not the threat without his legs. All right, you guys, again, rile Lamar up. Keep talking crazy on him because all he's done is, once he wins the Super Bowl, it's going to be why hasn't he won 2? And if he wins the second one, 3, you know how it goes. You know how the conversation goes.
Coming up next on the program, I see we have a couple of people on hold that want to talk about the Orioles. That's fitting. We'll get to those calls. We'll also answer the question, can the O's make the playoffs? Do they have enough to finish off this playoff push? We'll talk about it next on The Fan.
The teams you grew up with
Ravens are world champions.
are the ones you still love today. 105.7 The Fan.
Please hold for the next available disappointment.
Or skip the hold music. Call 877-OUCH-911. I'm the attorney that gives a and I'll make sure the insurance company cares too. Real help, real results. 877-OUCH-911.
Popeye's $5 faves menu just keeps adding your faves. Next up, butterfly shrimp. They've got that bold Louisiana kick that makes them just as crave-worthy as the chicken side of the menu. Try 8 crunchy butterfly shrimp in classic or dusted in Popeye's serious flavor seasonings. Head to your nearest Popeyes to get them now on our $5 faves menu.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Using chat to research your next home improvement project? Forget all the prompts. If you want replacement windows and doors without the hassle, look up Window Nation. Homeowners love the one-day installation process, especially since Window Nation installers leave your home cleaner than when they started. This month, you could get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. Visit windownation.com to get the windows featured on HGTV's Designing Spaces. I'm telling you, Window Nation, they're the real deal.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Play more, win big, all summer long during the 12th anniversary celebration at Horseshoe Baltimore. Bigger prizes, bigger moments. Don't miss your chance to win. Earn 12 times rewards on Friday, August 21st. Then join Horseshoe Casino on Saturday, August 22nd for your chance to win a $1,200 cash prize in their special anniversary drawing. Get in on the action at Horseshoe Baltimore for all the excitement. At Horseshoe, there is something for everyone. Baltimore's best bet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Riding a motorcycle requires balance, alertness, and quick reactions. There is no margin for error. If you're thinking about drinking and riding a motorcycle, then you're not really thinking. When your abilities are impaired and you make a mistake, it could be deadly. Make the smart choice if you plan to ride. Be the sober driver. Be the driver who saves lives. Go to zerodeathsmd.gov. This message is brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Ever notice how the little things add up? A cracked phone screen, a dead car battery, bills creeping higher.
Oh, no.
What if your checking account could actually help with all that? It can. With Elite Checking from NASA Federal, you get smart benefits designed to save you time, money, and stress. Like get your paycheck up to 2 days early for a little breathing room. Cell phone protection to cover unexpected damage. Roadside assistance for breakdowns. Bill negotiation to help lower your bills. Identity theft aid for peace of mind. And you can earn dividends on your balance. If your checking account isn't working hard for you, switch to Elite Checking from NASA Federal. You could do it all right online at nasafcu.com/WJZ. And you don't have to work for NASA to join NASA Federal. NASA Federal Credit Union. Smart. NASA smart. Federally insured by NCUA.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. Orioles post-trade deadline, even though they were sellers, they do still take 2 of 3 from the Angels, and they find themselves only a game out of the last wild card spot. Conveniently enough, that team that is holding the last wild card spot right now, the Orioles, are on their way to play them for the next 3 games and in Texas against the Rangers. It'll be a fun series for sure. But Ben, do you feel like this team has enough juice to make the playoffs?
I don't know that they have enough juice, but I think there's a even more lack of juice around the rest of the American League that they're going to have the opportunity. And we're going to be talking about this through September. I truly believe that the schedule definitely is not easy, but they took 2 of 3 and could have swept the Dodgers in LA. Again, they can win some of these games. They've showed they're good enough. And the one reason that I am holding out any bit of hope, they get in the playoffs. I mean, I don't think they're winning a playoff series, to be completely honest with you. But the reason that I'm holding some hope in terms of what they can do is because their rotation has been awesome. Mm-hmm. It's been incredible. And that was the concern coming into the season. So you're telling me all they have to do is figure it out at the plate? Well, they need one guy to figure it out at the plate, and he hasn't been able to do it all season long. And I sat by, and every caller I would tell all the time, guys, he's going to come out in June. All right, well, June didn't happen. Well, I think it'll happen in July. I'm done doing it. I think this is a down year for Gunnar. That hurts them. It hurts their offense, and I just can't see them turning it around with him playing this way.
Fangraphs has the Orioles with a 15.2% chance to make the playoffs right now.
That feels a little low to me.
That's where they have them. 15.2%. Twins at 22.3%. They don't think very highly of the Orioles at all. The only outside of the 3 teams that are clearly out of it, and the Royals, the Athletics, and the Angels, the only other team that has a lower percentage than the Orioles to make the playoffs are the Blue Jays. And they're right back in it themselves, only 3 games back. But the Blue Jays have a 4.2% chance to make the playoffs. So Fangraphs not buying Orioles stock these days.
I understand it. I feel like it should be a little higher because of how bad the American League is, but I understand it.
I mean, again, could they? Sure.
Will they?
I don't think they will. I think they're going to continue to dangle the playoff hopes in front of the fans.
Games.
Yep. Just keep on coming out. Just hold on. Just hold on. Give us a chance.
We're gonna get right.
We're only a game back.
The rosters are expanding.
Yep, exactly. Like there's still about 50 games left at this point. There's a chance. They have series coming up that directly could put them in the playoffs, at least the playoff picture for now, coming up over the next 2 to 3 series. So they are giving everybody a reason to try to chase the carrot. I'm not. I think that they're done. I think that they are who they are. We continue to be reminded of who they are when we see games like today. And for me, if you can't take advantage of the opportunities when you're facing garbage arms, then why should I believe in you as we're getting to the time of year where everybody is trying to play at their best? And again, like you said, everybody stinks. I don't know. Like I said it earlier, whoever gets it probably doesn't deserve it, but that's where we are. So yeah, could they trip up and get in? Yeah, but I don't think they will.
If Ryan Johnson's a tough at bat in August at Camden Yards, what is Garrett Crochet going to be in October when he's right?
Let's grab a call real quick. Let's get Mitch in Baltimore. Mitch, you're on the Fan.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, Mitch?
Hey, so I'll tell you like this. I've been seeing the Orioles cashing a lot of heat for the trade deadline. Selling, but keeping Rogers and Cano and Kittredge and all that. I kind of really like what they did, and I'll tell you why. My perspective on the Orioles, I mean, I'm about your guys' age. when I was a kid, the Orioles, we sucked every year. Like, we didn't have a winning record until I was in high school. My bar for a successful Orioles season is low. So I don't care what the responsible thing is. You're telling me, you would have told 12-year-old me that it's August and we're a game out of the playoffs? Go for it, you know what I mean? So I really want to just kind of hang around and see if we could sneak in. Now, that being said, I honestly don't think the moves we made really hurt us that much this year. I mean, Adley's always hurt, and quite frankly, he kind of sucks. We'll get to see Basayo more. We'll finally get to see what we really have with Kobe Mayo DHing. Like, I'm cool with that. Taylor Ward, he walked a lot, but he also struck out looking a lot, which was annoying, and he's stuck in the left field. I'd rather see Beavers out there. Honestly, the only move that I think really hurts us is Tyler Wells, because we're going to be seeing a lot of Rico. I mean, he almost blew another game. That doesn't have that 3-run shot, but I'm okay with where we ended up. We got Trevor Rogers. Let's see if we can sneak in. And one more thing, Cordell.
Yep.
Hail to the Redskins, brother. We're back this year.
Can you?
Hey, man, it was them. It wasn't me.
Michael, can you start checking the callers to see if they're Commanders fans before they call in?
Appreciate it.
Uni's back, JD5.
Hey, man, it wasn't me. Appreciate the call, Mitch. Look, we'll see. It's a tough schedule. We'll see. Madden came out today, and I'll say they got my boys looking good, and that's without Diggs on the roster yet. The defense is crazy.
Yeah, really good year for the Commanders.
I'm not saying. Yeah. Hey, you already heard how I feel about them.
You're hyping them up.
What did I hype them up about?
You don't think they're going to make the playoffs?
I mean, I hope they do.
Yeah, they got Stephon Diggs in his prime. I mean, come on.
Diggs.
It's the Commandos.
Diggs played really good last year.
Listen, it's the football team in my eyes. That's how I view them. It's the Washington
football team. Didn't have Jaden Daniels.
It's the Washington football team.
Well, you call them what you want. As long as JD's back there at quarterback, I don't really care.
See what the football
Throw the ball to Terry McLaurin. Let's
I
go.
Agree. And then real quick, sorry, I don't want to get to it. I agree with the caller, and he had to throw in the Commanders. The same thing with the caller earlier. We just got to hear about the Commanders.
It just wasn't me. As long as I'm just responding to the people. That's all. I'm just responding to the people. Coming up next on the program, we'll talk about a young guy on the Ravens, been getting a lot of hype. Jacoby Lane. Is the hype real? Got a couple calls on hold as well. We'll get to them in the next segment also. That's next here on The Fan.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
For great food, great drinks, and a great time, Cross Street Market is Baltimore's spot in Federal Hill with stalls like Pizza to Joey, Theo's Rolls and Bowls, Dashi Ramen, and the Red Hot Jollof Bowl, along with Watershed Restaurant. It's the perfect place to meet up for a bite or a drink. Just say the words, "I'll see you at the market."
Alex B and Zach came to the rescue when we lost our heat. The commercial I hear every day on my way to work is true. Amazing.
Greg did a great job.
Tony saved us tens of thousands of dollars because he was able to determine that our system's heat exchanger is fine.
Andre was over the top impressive. Professional and diligent. He took his time to work the problem, not just diagnose a quick fix.
Zachary was able to remove and replace our AC system in what must have been record time. Amazing. Was amazing.
Anthony and Jamal were outstanding. The entire install completed in one day.
You can tell this company truly lives up to its name. Amazing. Their owner says he has the best people, and after this experience, I completely agree.
Those are snippets from 7 different Google reviews for amazing plumbing, heating, and air. And yes, I proudly claim to have the best techs, installers, and plumbers in Baltimore because I do. You can count on it at
CALLAMAZING. Go to callamazing.com.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks, like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 410-921-0667 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 410-921-0667 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 410-921-0667 for fast, easy, and affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 410-921-0667.
There's a reason potato chips don't come in a clear bag. It's only 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's like your 401k. You get 2/3, Uncle Sam gets the rest. Mike Kinnett, Ryan Herbert, and the team at ProStatus Financial Advisors Group can help. Their tax mapping process can help forecast what your taxes will be in the future to potentially decrease your tax bill. Call for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 866-597-1040, or online at prostatusfinancial.com. Advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance licensed in Maryland.
It's Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. Training camp well underway. We're over a weekend. We got a preseason game next week for the Ravens. We do.
Is everybody sitting in front of their TVs to watch that?
It'll be on in my house.
It will be. Me too.
Just as background noise, but it'll be on.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, football is my first love, dog. Like, I'm watching the worst of the worst Thursday night football games. Like, I'm there. So, yeah, I'm not above. I hate the preseason.
Yes.
Even as a reporter, we get through halfway through the first quarter, I'm ready to, let's just let's put the running clock on. Honestly, let's get through it. But, I love the game of football, so I'm not upset that is back tonight. But Ravens training camp well underway, and we've already got a few storylines brewing out there. And one of the biggest ones, especially this week, has been the production of Jacoby Lane. He's been flashing. And look, I've been on the record about my hesitancy to trust these young pass catchers. You got 2 rookie wide receivers, 2 rookie tight ends as well. And I do think a team like the Ravens, who have Super Bowl aspirations, I think you're playing with fire, relying on so many unproven guys. And that's just the young guys I'm talking about. I ain't even talking about the Batemans who are coming off a 19-catch season. Like, Mark ain't trending in the right ways, not having a great camp to this point either. So, yeah, but Jacoby Lane has been a highlight. And he made the one-handed grab the other day. That happened right in front of me. My jaw hit the ground. That was chef's kiss. That right there put me on notice. And then after that, he has a rep against TJ Tampa where he beats him on a stutter go and makes a kind of a fingertip grab. And then he had the one yesterday in the red zone where he catches one over Marlon in the back of the end zone. He had another one today where he kind of takes it off the helmet of Chidobe Awuzie in one-on-ones in the red zone as well. So, the kid has looked impressive, and I think he's kind of played his way probably ahead of Tez Walker in my mind. Like, the way I'm viewing it, Jacoby Lane is up to wide receiver 3 in my book. Now, we'll see what it looks like, but I think he's probably ahead of Tez Walker right now on the depth chart. But how much are you buying into the Jacoby Lane hype right now?
We've had these conversations, me and you, off the air, just at camp in general, where there's going to be the all-pros in training camp. Yep. There's going to be guys turning heads, and there's going to be overreactions from the fan base. It happens all the time. It does happen. It's a soft buy. I think he's going to have a better rookie year than I thought when he got drafted. I thought it's more of a raw talent, that there's some traits there that we haven't seen in Baltimore in a while, and they're going to work into it. But he is flashing now. I need to see it in games, and I need to see him on the field. I know he's been with the ones now in training camp, but to see him on the field making plays when it gets a little bit more physical. When you have a guy who might not be worried about injury at a practice in a game in your face with his paycheck on the line. It just, things are a little different. Now, Jacoby Lane gives the Ravens a different type of receiver, a guy they don't have, which might force his way onto the field. We're going to see growth this year. We're going to see highs and lows, I think. But it's a soft buy for me. It's a soft buy because he's going to be more impactful, I think, than I thought. Because when they drafted him, I was high on him. And then, just kind of through mini camp stuff, I'm like, I don't know how this will translate for now because I still think he's raw. But again, everything we've seen with our eyes, not what we're hearing, what we've seen with our eyes out there, it's impressive. I did want to get to one comment we had that kind of flows into this. We had a comment on YouTube. Will we have 2 1,000-yard receivers, wide receiver, tight end this year? I think there's a 0% chance of that. like zero. Lamar's best year throwing the football, threw for 4,100 yards. Zay had 1,000. Bateman had 700 and something. Right. And I don't see any tight end on this roster coming close to that. Mark Andrews has been Lamar's man time and time again. I get different point in his career. I think it's going to be some underneath stuff to Mark, maybe a few touchdowns. I don't see them having 2,000-yard receivers. I just, in no world do I see that.
They're not constructed that way.
No.
And
absolutely.
Even as I sit here and talk about Lane potentially being wide receiver 3 right now, I could also see that being a revolving door.
Yeah.
I could see it maybe being Lane this week. Maybe next week Tez gets more reps. Maybe the next week Surratt is the guy. It could be any of them. But I think a little bit of what's getting me to buy in to Jacoby Lane is the fact that Surratt hasn't kept pace. And I thought Surratt's skill set would translate quicker.
Yep.
And it's been Lane. He's playing with a ton of confidence. Like you said, my big question is, how does he handle the physicality? How does he get up from hits? You're going to be stretching out like that. You better be prepared to take one in the sternum every now and then. Yeah. So how does he rebound from that? Does he get up? Can he take a couple of hits? We've seen receivers that every time they get hit, you kind of hold your breath and they got to come out for a couple of plays. I'm not saying that's him. We just don't know. And, with Surratt, it's been a slower pace for him. He hasn't been able, these are the top 2 contested catch guys in this class. Surratt hasn't been able to show that same skill set that Lane has. In fact, their catch radius looks completely different. It doesn't even look like it's in the same world, honestly. So I'm still rooting for Surratt. And today was probably his best day of camp, I would say. He finally got a vertical pass down the field where he was actually wide open on. He caught a pass, I think, in either 7-on-7s or 1-on-1 as well. Kyle Hamilton had an interception today. It was goal line, and Surratt is running the fade. And as soon as I saw the matchup and Lamar's throwing the ball, I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to see how the young boy fight. This is the best slot corner / safety you're going to see in the league. So it doesn't get any better than this. And Kyle just doesn't let him off the line. He stays on top of him. He's attached the entire time. How many times have you seen a DB intercept a fade, a goal line fade? That doesn't happen. No. Kyle caught it looked like he was the receiver.
Yeah.
All I could do was shake my head and say, this dude is just unfair watching that happen. He's so good. He is so good. Let's grab a couple of calls real quick. A lot of people been on hold. Kevin in Ellicott City. Kevin, you're on the Fan.
What's going on, Cordell and Ben?
What's up, Kevin?
Chilling, fellas, chilling. I was talking to Mike about this, man. I really like what we have with Surratt and Lane, and even in the push for Zay, right? Like, I feel like this is kind of a good trio of guys, Tez Walker included, and then we got another guy, but we'll have to see if he wants his name mentioned. But I really like what this is going to do for Zay Flowers. I think it's going to help him on both sides of the coin. He's got enough veteran in him that he's outworked the circumstances. I think that's really going to help them young guys. But these dudes are both big-time playmakers, which really gives us that triple threat at big-time plays, right? So, man, I'm really excited to see this wide receiver core open up a little bit this year.
Yeah, appreciate the call, Kevin. One thing that we do know going into this year with this pass catcher group, there are opportunities to be had. We talked about the wide receiver 3 position. Even if you want to talk about the second wide receiver, like Bateman's, you can't count on that. You don't know what you're going to get. You're hopeful. but you don't know what you're going to get out of Bateman. So there are ample opportunities for these young wide receivers, even in the tight end room. Cuevas, Hibner, I haven't seen a ton to this point in camp, but crazier things have happened. We talked about guys looking like all pros in camp, and then you get to the regular season, you can't find them. Just the same, there are guys that have quiet camps that go out there and ball out when the lights are on. You just don't know. But there are going to be opportunities at the feet of these young guys. It's just a matter of will they be able to take advantage of them.
Yeah, and we talked about it with the Hall of Fame game tonight, even some Ravens games like after the first few plays. There are some, I need to see something from the young tight ends when it's real football. I need to see something from the young receivers when it's real football. Like, we know a lot of the starters aren't going to play. The rookies are going to be out there, and they're going to have some opportunity. And we've seen it now. To your point, the tight ends, it's a lot of short stuff, and 7-on-7 short stuff is a gimme. And a lot of the things they're doing, it's just rollouts, easy throw. Like, we haven't seen that likely across the middle of the field that I think they're really, really going to miss. And I don't know that we're going to see it ever. And Darren Waller was the name that is the closest to that. Now he's not available enough. Nothing fits likely. You hope Jacoby Lane's production does. You hope Tez Walker, if he can give you some production, does. But it's just a really different room. But at the same time, it's also a different system. It's a new offensive coordinator that maybe this can fit. But it's absolutely a concern for me, the pass catchers in general.
Let's go to Trey and Owens Mills. Trey, you're on the Fan.
Hey, guys. I just have two questions for you. As far as the point he just made about the preseason, you see like Patrick Mahomes and some of the other high-profile players, they play in the preseason. Do you think that will change for Lamar and to try to get them more ready for the first few weeks? And then the second question I have is going to switch gears a little bit. What would it take to get Towson football to be the flagship football school for Maryland? And I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah, appreciate the call. I don't know. That's
yes.
I don't even know what it would take for Towson to be the flagship football school for Maryland, he said.
Yeah.
Maryland would have to go away.
Yeah, they just, with the division they play, like, they were fun. Terrence West years they were fun, but they still want to get ahead of Maryland.
Morgan. And that's my school, of course, but that's, I don't know. It's Towson football. I don't know how great it can really be.
Joe Flacco's cousin was there.
Wasn't that his brother? I watched it. He came. Yeah,
his cousin played baseball. His brother.
His brother that was the quarterback, right. And he beat. Like I said, I watched the games against Morgan. I was there a couple times, but I don't know about that one.
That's tough.
But
Big Ten money is different.
In terms of the starters playing, I wouldn't anticipate the veterans playing in the preseason. I would imagine it's probably going to be the same way it's been the last few years, even with John, to where they got away from a lot of those guys playing. Even Jesse has valued health over potential rust. And especially considering they're going to have two joint practices against one against the Vikings, the other against the Commanders. I think that they're going to let their starters get a lot of work in those practices. I would be shocked to see the premier guys on the field in the preseason.
I think, was it mandatory or OTA? Jesse had spoke about probably. I remember reading the quote that I don't think that we're going to see many guys, and they do value health. And again, I understand everybody's frustration when a team comes out a little slow. To be quite honest with you, Lamar could play every preseason game. I don't know how much of an impact it'll have. I know we want him to get comfortable. We want him to get out there. I feel relatively fine with Lamar where he's at coming into the year all the time. It's never been a big issue with me sitting them in the preseason, especially after the year where Dobbins gets hurt in a game. Yeah. That was the same year Gus and Peters get hurt in practice. Like, too much risk there, especially with your quarterback. Right. I'm fine with them doing how they're doing it.
Coming up next, we'll wrap things up, get you our final takes, and get out of here. That's next on The Fan.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us, and we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Cordell and Ben on Fresh Take.
The Fresh Take with Cordell Woodland and Ben Hall back here on 105.7 The Fan. Wrapping things up, getting to our final takes. And I kind of touched on mine a little bit earlier talking about Gunnar Henderson. And I know there are mixed feelings, I'll categorize it as, after the trade deadline. Having to trade Adley Rutschman, trading Tyler Wells also in the division. Like, I get it. There are people out there that are really upset, and a lot of the frustration is pointed at Mike. And without a doubt, Mike Elias has plenty of dirt on his hands. But the players decide whether you're going to have a great season or not. The players are the ones on the field. And I've criticized Mike for the lack of player development over time. I've given him his piece of the blame. But this, I'm ready to shift my attention to the players. And it was great to hear Pete Alonso the other day, the day after the deadline, him, Colton Cowser, take ownership and say, we're in this position because we didn't play good enough. We put ourselves in a position to where we have to trade off our best friends, our face of the franchise. We had to trade these guys off one of our more dependable bullpen arms. We didn't show enough despite only being a game and a half, 2 games out at the time of the last wild card spot. They still didn't show enough to the front office to make them want to buy. This wasn't even a buy and sell. This was a straight sale. This was a straight sale. This is on the players, and specifically Gunnar Henderson. And to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed in Gunnar. And it's not even about him talking to the media, like me being in the media. No, this is about being a leader. And that is one of the big things that Gunnar Henderson has not figured out yet. I told you earlier in the show, Ben, there was a video that I had tweeted out maybe last season, I think, or maybe the season before, where Gunnar was on Mookie Betts' his podcast when they had the trip out in LA to play the Dodgers. And Betts is talking to him about owning up to being an elite shortstop, owning up to being Gunnar Henderson, and owning up to being a leader in the clubhouse. And in the interview, you can see Gunnar like just uneasy, like he's still a little unsure about himself. And even Gunnar says it, like he still feels like he has to prove himself. He feels like he hasn't done enough yet. He feels like he's still learning himself. So, you know, that plays a part into maybe him being hesitant to take on that leadership role. Adley's gone. The time's come. We might be this time next year talking about Gunnar being traded out of here.
100%.
So if not now, then when? And I think Gunnar has to, obviously he has to play better. But this is the time now. It shouldn't be going into Friday when the trade deadline was Monday and we haven't heard anything from Gunnar Henderson yet. That's bizarre to me. That's bizarre to me. And he's still playing like crap. He's got to wake up. You got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Gunnar has to grow up. And you know how I feel about Gunnar. I've spoken very highly of. I respect the heck out of Gunnar. I'm disappointed in Gunnar. That's what you hear from me right now is disappointment that he's not looking like the guy that I know him to be. Not just the production, but again, being that it's not about being the young pups anymore. They're shifting all those guys out. Pete's doing his part, but Pete came here thinking that he'd be side by side with Gunnar, not having to carry the torch himself. Gunnar's got to step up in a variety of ways and start playing all of his roles. What you got?
Great point. I do want to say one thing. You know, I can tell you're a dad. You did I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
It was that. That was like the dad. You know, I'm like, damn. Like, I bounced at home. Like, damn.
Legit.
Yeah, no, I feel it though. You're right though. Mine's a little bit, it's not less serious. I mean, it's still serious, but it's not Orioles related. Monday night or Sunday night. I think it was Sunday. Monday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Tim Tawa tried to lay down a bunt in a perfect game in the sixth inning of a 5-run game, and the Guardians were throwing a tantrum in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I played baseball my entire life until I started working here. Until I was 23, I was playing baseball. I played college ball. It always infuriated me. Some of the unwritten rules are like I understood them. I was by them. The perfect game thing and the no-hitter thing, especially when I'm being paid to, this is my job. Get out of my face. A catcher's throwing a tantrum, a shortstop throwing a tantrum, because in a 5-0 game, I was doing everything I could to get to first base.
Right.
My batting average matters. My OBP matters. Us trying to win this game matters. Me not getting embarrassed and a perfect game thrown against me matters. So I'm going to do whatever it is that I need to do to get this. And we have this team. The bench is cleared because they were so damn butthurt about him trying to bunt in a fight. If it's 13-0 in the 8th, I said this on the morning show the other day. If it's 13-0 in the 8th, maybe you don't do it. Even then, I'm like, no, your goal is to get, like, they're trying to get you out. You're trying to get on, whatever. I don't even care. But if you want to get angry, then 5-0 is, the Orioles came back from 7 on Thursday, which again was the unthinkable. But the team can still come back. The team doesn't want to get a perfect game thrown against them. And Tim Tawa is playing for money. Base hits matter in that. I don't care if it's a bunt. I don't care what, swinging bunt, whatever. Just this is the competitor. You know what? You're throwing a perfect game? Let me go up there and swing and miss and give you this perfect game. Like, that stuff is so weak. It was infuriating. I remember watching it like hot. Like, what are we doing here? And it's a normal thing. The unwritten rules of baseball, you can throw a lot of them out. That one it's always infuriated me. I would be bunting whenever I need to if I see that third baseman back and they got a perfect game going against me. I'm not about to get embarrassed and not do something to prop your pitcher up that's competing against me. Like, stop it. It was so weak.
That'll do it for us. Another great one in the books. Appreciate Mike Pope. Great job on the board tonight. Appreciate everybody that called in. We always love talking to you guys. Appreciate you, the listener. You could have been listening to anybody in the world, but you were listening to us. We really appreciate it. From Ben Hall to me, Cordell Woodland. We'll see you when we see you. Peace.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
CFG Bank Arena is officially one of the hottest concert venues in the world with today's top artists like Olivia Dean, Casey Musgraves, Doja Cat, and Niall Horan. Visit CFGBankArena.com to get your tickets today. CFG Bank Arena, the biggest shows, the biggest names, and the best seats in Baltimore.
Hey, we're all headed out to happy hour. You in?
Definitely, but I need to schedule a ride.
Before you drink, designate a sober driver or plan for a rideshare and make sure everyone gets home safely. You could save your life, those in your car, and others on the road. Be the Make a Plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives. Go to zerodeathsmd.gov. This message is brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
If you dread dealing with your insurance company more than you dread build-it-yourself furniture,